Thanksgiving night. On our way to who knows what. We have just arrived. It's about 7 o'clock Thanksgiving night. Let's go see where we're staying.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we're upstairs in room 1. This is much bigger than I expected. This is very cool. I think we found the front entrance. And this is us. Let's check it out. All right, once we figured out how to turn on the lights, this is a pretty cool place. We are at the Cumberland Inn and Spa for our first night.
You didn't even tell them what we were doing yet.
It's a surprise. We'll show them in the morning.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
We're going for a little walk here in downtown Cumberland. This is just a couple minutes away from our the inn that we're staying at. This is Riverside Park. It's a beautiful night, Thanksgiving night. It's still like 50 degrees. It's supposed to drop like 20 degrees overnight.
Somebody's actually in there. It's George.
George is in there.
It's a much younger George.
This is the start to a pretty cool adventure. Good morning, Fig.
Good morning, Sundown.
What's on your head?
I think it's a helmet.
Okay, this is our first adventure bike packing, and we are here in Cumberland, Maryland, and we're gonna bike the C&O to DC over Thanksgiving weekend.
3 days of ride and 60 miles a day.
Yep, and we gotta climb over the Pawpaw Tunnel today, so that's gonna be interesting because the tunnel's closed.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Here we come, up to the start. All right, so here we are at the start. I'm actually on the Gap side of the trail. Fick is on the C&O side of the trail, and we're about to head off.
At the very beginning there,
Oh yeah, there we go.
you're at the line.
Yep, 184.5 miles to Washington, 149 to Pittsburgh. We should have done the Gap Trail this weekend. All right, there's Cumberland. Just came over that part of the bridge. That is part of the canal. And we're heading this way, 184 miles to DC.
All right, here comes Sundial. All loaded up.
We have smiles right now.
You're gonna lose them at Paw Paw.
All right, we're about 5 miles, not quite 5 into our ride, and we have come up to the first campsite. So this is the Evetts Creek hiker-biker campsite. So if we were tent camping, which we are not because it's almost December, and it's 32 degrees right now, and there were snow flurries. Anyway, that's where we would camp, and where Fick is the first water pump. There's supposed to be plenty of water on the trail. Oh, we just saw some deer run in the woods. But there's no handle on it, so we are now wondering if the water is going to be off for our whole trip. Here's a little fella coming at us. And just like we're at home, there's the train.
All right, so we're maybe 4 or 5 miles in. Riding past the train station. Got the river on one side. I assume that's the Potomac. Yeah, cruising along up ahead. I mean, the packs aren't that bad on the bike. We're a little bit worried about kind of getting used to them. The front pack definitely affects your steering some, but it's not terrible because we're not packed down with too much stuff. Fingers are a little bit cold, especially trying to film. But other than that, so far so good. Good times. We'll see what happens with this Paw Paw Tunnel being closed. The bypass trail is, you know, they say it's only 300 and some feet. But the one guy was saying it's like 11% grade to get up and over the mountain that the Paw Paw Tunnel goes through. So I think that's the only thing we're worried about for today. They say it takes about 2 hours to walk it, and riding it might be a little bit sketchy. So worry about that when we get there, but having a great time so far.
Taking a little detour here to the Pollock Cemetery. Over there. And then we have gone by a ton of farms already. It's just kind of pretty country out here. All right, our first lock. What does that exactly mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
That means when the boats were coming up, because they're coming up the canal, they come into the lock, they close the lock off, they flood the lock, and then the boat can get up to the next level. So these step the boats up the canal.
Oh.
That's what locks are.
I don't know if I actually realized that. So thank you for that history lesson, Fick.
You're quite welcome.
What? You can't be Fick anymore if you know stuff. All right, this is neat, and it's plenty warm enough. The wind has died down, at least here. I see a flag in the distance that's blowing pretty good, but here where we're protected, it's nice. Bet up on the mountains, it's not.
We'll find out soon.
When we get to Paw Paw. So here we go, the Town Creek hiker-biker campsite. Every time we see a porta pot, that seems to be right at the campsites, which are pretty awesome. And lots of room for tents, and one heck of a fire with that setup. And then again, the water, but definitely turned off, no pumps. All right, we're entering the Paw Paw Tunnel. No!
So what was that, about a mile through the tunnel?
Yep. And then we gotta go a mile back, and then we gotta go a mile and a half over the mountain.
It might be a much longer day. It's chilly.
Damn it! Alright, so this is what it looks like. Got the water flowing, and it gets really, really dark. You can see the light all the way at the end, but it gets really dark in the middle.
What is that down there?
Huh?
It's the light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh boy, this is what I deal with. That was good though. All right, I'm hoping the GoPro is catching the film of us riding through because it's sketchy. It's bumpy and you can't see it, and I keep riding into the wall because I'm too afraid to get
Honestly,
close.
it's the most technical thing I've ever done.
All right, so here we go. All right, so we got snow flurries. And whoa, goodness, Vic, that's not me. 1.5 miles of steep and strenuous trail up. This mountain walk bike, says it right there. So we just rode down to see where the other part of the Towpath tunnel was, and it was like right there. So this is the trail we just came down. Seriously, they said all over the internet and stuff, 1.5 to 2.5 hours to get on that side trail and get back to this point right here. It probably took us, what, 15 or 20 minutes? All right, we're hoping we found Bill's. It's confusing. We're not sure if it's this or this. But we just need food. Pretty neat though. That was a yummy and much needed lunch at Bill's. Bill's is right off the trail and now owned by Jack, Bill's son, and his wife was telling us a story about how Bill bought it years ago, like in the 60s, turned it into a bar and a restaurant from a kind of a general store, and it burned down in, I think she said 2000. And there were some articles on the wall talking about this historic landmark in Little Orleans that burnt down. So they rebuilt it. This is Indigo Creek campsite. And there's the foundation from one of the lock houses. Right, Fick?
That's right.
Because there's a lock right there. I think we're cold. But it is a beautiful time of night. Just chilly. This is really pretty along the Potomac. Racing the sunset. About 3 miles to go, and I'm not sure what this is, but pretty cool ruins. We're gonna have to look it up. Pretty neat. Ruins tell a story. I'm always curious what the story is. We found it. It is literally right off the trail. You can't get any closer. We're in Hancock, 61 miles. Good job, Feck. Let's go see about checking in. All right, welcome to River Run. And we just called as instructed to do. Talked to Sinclair. This is our bedroom with a bathroom. And then we are the only ones here, so we have the run of the place. And it's a bed and breakfast, but he asked if we mind making our own breakfast. It saves 10% on the room, and sure, why not? So there is plenty of food, tea, coffee, eggs, yogurts in the fridge. It's perfect. And I mean, we like to meet people, but sometimes it's kind of cool to be the only people. So this is 2 bed and breakfasts in a row that it's just us. All right, Buddy Lou's. Buddy Lou's restaurant. This is what was recommended to us from our Airbnb owner, and this is pretty cool. Got some bicycles up here.
I don't want salt ice cream tonight.
It's a little cold for ice cream. You got Snoopy sitting there.
What's that?
You got Snoopy. This might be the coolest restaurant we've ever been in. And there were a bunch of people here, but now it's just me and Vic. And the salmon was delicious.